Navy.
What'd you do in the Navy?
I was able to fortunately go. When I graduated in 1981, I went to the Civil Engineer Corps, which is an organization that does facilities, management, infrastructure for the Navy. And so basically, I maintained buildings and systems and worked with keeping the ships going. But basically, doing road construction, building construction, major capital programs. And so I did that for 22 years in the Navy.
How old?
And I became a professional engineer.
Yeah, where do you work now?
Right now, I work in City of Norfolk. I'm the Director of Public Works for a city of 250,000 people. Have about 400 people that work for me. Have about a $65 million budget. And I have capital programs about almost $100 million on an annual basis.
Okay, so not, for the folks here, this is not just a meathead. This is not somebody that stopped being successful when they got done with high school. How old were you when you started strength training?
I did a little bit out of high school because we had a little high school program, but we did mostly bench press stuff, not a lot of leg stuff. And then my last year in college in Ilken, they started a powerlifting program. And that's how I started really doing a full body type of effort.
How old were you when you did your first competition?
I was about 20.
And obviously neither you nor I are particularly young, but what year was that?
Oh, that was like 1980.
Okay. One of the things that I've been at Eagle River High now all day, and I taught at 5 different classes, and this is the after school folks, the kids that wanted to show up after school. But I've talked to everybody during the school day today about drug testing and how USA Powerlifting used to be the American Drug-Free Powerlifting Association, how it got founded by Robert Crawford because he was sick of going to powerlifting meets where people had syringes and vials of steroids and they were shooting up before lifts. In your career, the people that you going back to 1980, can you tell us a little bit about the folks that you knew or lifted with that used steroids, how that affected their overall longevity, their life, that sort of thing?
Well, when I started, I was in my early 20s, and even at the collegiate level, we saw folks doing steroids. And then when I joined the military, there was we call it a military lifting club, and we competed in the national circuit. And I saw your people using performance enhancing drugs. And so when you're in your 20s, you don't think about the long-term career, longevity of your career. But it quickly became apparent that longer they start using the drugs, they start having some challenges in terms of their health and their performance. And so it wasn't immediate, but you think about 4 or 5 years of constant use of that product, then they start having some negative consequences. One, either they were taking the product inappropriately, but 2, they start training more heavily than the body can sustain itself. In the long term, once they get into their 30s, they start having some physical problems, either joint or issues or some major challenges in terms of just staying regularly healthy. And so, let me add, so if you look at the folks basically, who in their 30s were lifting at the time I was lifting, none of them, when they got to late 30s, none of them were competing. Zero. they were basically completely out of the sport. And so for someone at my age, you think it's kind of unique, but it's really about being a healthy lifestyle and just keeping it simple. And so, yeah, you can do the steroids and get some quick gains, but once you get in your mid-30s, you got to pay it. It's one of those things, you pay it now, pay me later.
Got it. What are some of the countries that you've traveled to for powerlifting?
Oh, I've been to South Africa, been to Germany, been to Norway, Sweden, Great Britain. Pretty much, those probably countries I've been to, the major countries.
Okay. Did you ever do the World Games?
I did it in 2009 in Taiwan. I was fortunate enough to do that, and that was an amazing experience. And I had just turned 50 when I did that.
Could you tell them a little bit about what the World Games is?
Well, it takes all the sports that want to be, Olympic sports, and basically put them in an Olympic format. And so it really gives you a sense of, being a true international athlete. And so it was in Taiwan, and so we were part of the U.S. delegation that went over there. But it was an amazing experience to being treated almost like an Olympic athlete. But it was truly an amazing experience. So the lifting itself was really almost kind of like icing on the cake. So the opportunity to see basically other athletes from different sports from your own country and see something similar to an Olympic experience, it was just one of those things you never forget.
How many people were in the opening ceremonies in the stadium?
It had to be close to 80,000 people. And so it was the summertime, and we had these very wool jackets, and so you feel like you wouldn't believe you're walking in their Olympic stadium. But it was just one of those phenomenal experiences.
Awesome. So tell us some of your top 3 training tips. What are some of the things that have really worked best for you over the years?
Well, I think one of the things is getting proper nutrition. And when you're young, you have basically a lot of untapped potential. But you think that you do almost anything, still get strong. But as you start getting more mature in the sport, the nutrition becomes a very key part of what makes you successful. Because nutrition is kind of like fuel for your body. And it's like, I use the similarity of your body's like a NASCAR engine. And so you can put regular fuel in your body, like a NASCAR engine, and you can get there, but you're not gonna get there fast. And so if you want to be a high performance athlete, you need to put high performance fuel in your body. Meaning that you still can eat basically good nutrition in terms of your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but good supplementation is the extra ingredient to allow you to perform at a high level. Because for a natural athlete, if you want to basically have a good training cycle for like 8 to 10 weeks, that extra nutrition will help you perform at a high level and keep the intensity level for your training. So that is just very key. The other thing is taking care of your body. And that meaning that if you get injuries or you get some aches and pains, you don't kind of push through it and try to overdo the exercise, and then you get a more serious injury. So if you get an injury, whatever that is, really know how to back off and take care of your body. Either you'll go to a chiropractor or just back off the exercise. So for example, if you're supposed to do, like squat, supposed to do your 5 reps, at the 3rd rep, you're really not feeling it, you need to back off. Don't try to run it through and all of a sudden you cause a more serious injury, then you can't work out for a couple more weeks. And so that is huge. And then the 3rd big tip is, I would say that when you're starting the sport, you always like to see where you're at. And so there's a tendency to kind of max out almost every month. And that's probably okay in the initial part of your sport when you're first couple of years, because you're trying to see where you're at. But as you get more mature in the sport, you don't need to max out every other month, because what you don't want to do is basically overdo it in the training, and then when you get to a tournament or competition, you have nothing left in the tank. And so doing a max lift in the gym doesn't do anything if you can't get it in the tournament. And so now we got the big thing of the internet and people doing video the lifts, which is great, but what does that translate to the tournament? And I could use a case in point. Just recently, they had someone that set the world IPF squat record, gentleman from I think in the East Oceania Powerlifting Championship. And in training, he did 1,036 and smoked it. I mean, he smoked it. So less than a week later, he did the Oceania Championships, and his second attempt was 1,003, and he barely got it. I mean, he had to really squeeze it. Then the 3rd attempt, he just couldn't get it. But if you think about someone who smoked 1,036, 1,003 should have been like a piece of cake. And so, he's probably in the late 20s, and so he did great in his training, but if his goal was to do 1,036 in the meet, he basically overdid it in the tournament. And so, and for me as a more mature lifter, I don't max out anymore because my body can't handle it. But as a young lifter, there's a tendency to max out a lot of times, And so it's good to do that when you're first starting out, your first couple of years. But I would strongly recommend to kind of the heaviest I would recommend going is about 94% of your goal max. So if your goal is, say, a 400-pound squat, you take 94% of that, that's your top lifter in training. You should try to do it for 3 times. Meaning that if you get it for 3 times or double, you know that going to the tournament, you should be able to get that for your second attempt. If you get it, then your third attempt should be basically pretty close to that goal that you put part of your program.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dave. Any other insights you'd like to share with these kids? Those of you that are here, Dave is a living legend in the sport, and this is an unbelievable opportunity to be able to speak with him. Is there anything, Dave, you'd like to share, or anyone that's here, any questions you'd like to ask him?
The other thing is that, for those who compete at tournaments, and the local meet is one thing, then you get to a big regional meet or national meet, don't worry about your competition. Really trying to make sure you have your training program, you have, based upon your training, what you can do in the meet. Stick with that pretty much as gospel. The only thing you would change is probably maybe for your last deadlift, if you're going for a place, and then you might change the number a little bit. But for your squat and bench, stay with the program. Don't worry about what the other guys are doing. But a lot of times what happens is that if you change your number, try to push yourself, and you miss that third attempt, and you squat or bench, and then you get your deadlift, and you're not where you're at because of overall total. Because a lot of times, for placing, it's about whoever makes basically the best lifts. And so you have some folks that are very good, and you may be in the middle of the pack. But if you look at what you do in your program and how you did your lift, 9 times out of 10 you should be very successful. But for what I would recommend, especially if you're in a large national meet, don't worry about the other lifters. Just kind of work your program, stay with your program. And if you're warming up wherever each category, your squat, bench, and deadlift, and if it's not, you don't feel it until how you're warming up. Don't be locked in and just stick with what's on your program in terms of the opening attempt or second attempt. Back it off, because at the end of the day, it's what your body's feeling for you today, regardless of what your training is. If your body's not having it that day, whatever reason, you drop too much weight or you just don't feeling well, you got a little cold going on, you don't have the strength level, you just back it off. Because what good is it to have big training numbers, and then you get to a tournament, you can't get it, and you bomb the meet. And so you should never bomb the meet. Your opening attempt should be something you get no matter what, even if you're having a bad day. And so that'd be my thing. All my years of lifting, I think I bombed out twice in my 35 years of lifting. And both of the times were my fault. One time was actually my second big national ADFP meet, and I had taken second or third, first time I went to ADFP meet, and so I trained harder, so I came back to the nationals. I thought I was doing pretty good. Now, as I was getting ready for the weigh-in, I made a competitor with Mark Beaver. You probably don't know who he is, but back in the day, he was a big lifter at 165, and I thought I could, give him a run for the money. And so I saw he was squatting, somewhere in the high 500s. I said, well, if he can squat, open it that weight, I can do it too. Well, when I started warming up, the warm-up didn't go very well because they were behind schedule. I waited too long to warm up. Plus, I dropped weight the wrong way. Didn't eat anything, so I was a little dehydrated. And so I started warming up, weights felt heavy, but I didn't change my opening attempt. And so when I got to hit the bar from opening attempt, it felt like a pound of bricks. And so the first attempt didn't go deep enough. I got 3 red lights. Second attempt, same way. So the third time, I said, well, let me really sink it. I sunk it, didn't come up. And that was I was crushed. And this was a meet in Pennsylvania. My dad had driven out. First time he saw me lift, he drove about a couple hours. And after I bombed the squat, I told my dad, I said, hey, I know you want to see the rest of the tournament, but I bombed out. I can't watch the rest of it. So let's go see a movie. So that's what I did. And afterwards, I really got away from lifting for a while and took a couple months off and thought about it and said, man, I really assessed into how stupid I was. Got back in the gym and got back training again, and I had a great meet the next time. And so that was the first time I squatted out. Second time, actually I was, this was I was in my early 40s, and it was a national tournament. And for one reason, when I got to the bench press, my feet placement wasn't kind of locked in, and somehow I was moving my feet a little bit, and I should have lowered my opener. And because the weight was a little challenging, I was moving my feet a little bit, and I got, each time I got 3 red lights, and I bombed the bench. and it was really my fault. And so that's the only 2 times that I bombed out. But and so even for the folks who are veterans, it does happen.
One quick question for you, and then we're gonna go do some hands-on lifting.
Sure.
That nationals, I showed them all the video of you squatting 705. How much did you bench press?
I benched 446 was a PR.
446 pounds, and then how much did you deadlift?
677.
677 pound deadlift. All right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for David. Thank you so much. And thank you very much, and I'll be in touch, okay?
I like the plan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.